now we're going to use me as the test monkey for how you kind of like figure out how to build a portfolio. Like I said, I just closed on a property. If you want to start sharing whatever you're going to share, I just closed on a property and I'm looking to build my long-term portfolio. How do we get started here, Mike?
Yeah, and let me back up just about 3 steps before that, Pablo, if you don't mind. When we look at how we would work with somebody for the very first time, it's very, like I'd mentioned before, it's intentional. It's a series of steps typically to cover all the information that we need to cover, because there's a lot to this in terms of what to inspect in terms of numbers, what to expect from my market, what to expect from my team, right? Those 3 things are several calls worth of information. So you can see right away, I mean, we just take it's not transactional, right? We care, we want to make sure that we understand this. So as a team, we made the decision, when was it, Greg? Middle of last year, probably, to start incorporating this planning aspect into the onboarding process. Now, we're not perfect, for the record. We don't catch everybody, but at the same token, we'll get you. Even if you did buy a property and we haven't walked you through it yet, between either myself, the other Mike, or the service team, it's something that we do within your first year of being here with us. It's that important. So the planning piece is really important on the front end, Pablo, because of the fact that it just gives me a fighting chance, right? As far as why we're doing this and what we're trying to accomplish. Going back to that realistic set of expectations, right? In terms of what can my market do and what can it do? I mean, we're pretty finite in terms of the numbers and what will work. So we want to make sure that that's a fit. And it helps us just to have the best strategy. I think sometimes, you being an investor, you're going to have kind of a set of thoughts and preconceived notions going into it. I'm going to have the same thing, right? But if we can put our heads together, at the end of the day, we're going to just be better off for it. I mean, oftentimes we end up learning from each other, which is really cool at the end of the day, trying to find different ways to be the most efficient that we possibly can in putting this plan together. So on the front end, it really helps to make sure that we're all moving in that same direction in terms of implementation. But then I think the biggest thing that it does is it just sets our team up for success on the back end, because oftentimes people are not, buying 3 houses and then done, right? Type of a situation, or 5 houses and done. This is the initial, and then they're going to work over the next several years to complete their plan. So your portfolio managers are working on that. And naturally, what I set up with you on the front end, or what the other Mike sets up with you on the front end, your portfolio manager is driving the bus on the back. So it just kind of puts us all in one complete circle to make sure that, again, everything is realistic in terms of expectations, but that we're all on the same page in terms of the overall plan.
You handle that like a real pro, like if you've done that before, right? I know that as a host, I should have set you up to actually, ask that question. And then I realized I was so excited to talk about my plan that I was already going at 100 miles an hour. I'm assuming this happens all the time, right? Like people come in there with their own ideas.
We just slow it down, brother. It's fine.
Yeah.
Take a couple steps back. We'll get there, right? You're excited to buy a house. You're excited to build this plan. Okay, pump the brakes. No, it's totally good. But that's sometimes, again, you just have to make sure that we're all speaking the same language at the end of the day. Love it.
I'll kind of add on there too. I mean, this idea of doing the buying plan came from listening to our clients and from listening to people that were just starting to engage with EWB, because you sort of have different kind of tiers that you get to, right? You first kind of establish interest in this model and try to understand the team you want to work with and the market and see how the numbers work. And once that kind of clicks and you're like, oh, wow, I see how this works. I see how it can be easy. The numbers make sense. Your next question is, okay, well then how much should I do? And how should I do it? And how long should I do this for, right? Because at the end of the day, we're here to accomplish a goal, a monthly passive income goal that's going to be something that's going to really improve your life. We're not here to just buy houses in perpetuity for no reason, right? So this came from that question that was being asked to our team often, right? I have this pile of money then that I want to put into rental property investing with JWB. How can we financially engineer this to be able to produce the best return on investment or to decrease your time to getting to that monthly passive goal? And once we started to basically systemize that process, that's when it became something that we could really help our current clients out with. That's where it started. For many years, it was only done with current clients, right? Stewie, we're part of the architects for actually how to build this out and replicate this for current clients. And really about a year and a half ago, we said, well, now that that is so dialed in, I bet this would be a huge value add for anybody who's not even a client yet. And now that's where this lives for anybody. You don't even have to be a client now. And Mike Stewart and others are going to go through this process with you, which is really, really cool.